February the 4th of 1950. I am 71. Where was I born? Right here in Bel Air at Meadowbrook. Probably the biggest one is when I got married. Dad met my mom. I'm not even sure how old I was, but my stepdad treated us more like his own children than my biological father ever did. And him and Mom were so good together, and we were all upset when we lost Dad. Yeah, January the 12th, 1974 is when we lost Dad. And when I say dad, I'm talking about my stepdad, not my real dad. My mother was the sweetest woman that you would ever want to meet. No matter what it was, she was there to help you with anything you needed. Well, when I was 5 years old, we were living in a cabin down on the Cedar River, and Mom was cooking oatmeal for breakfast, and I was watching the oatmeal boil, and I was standing on an old rickety bench, and the bench decided to turn over, and I grabbed the only thing I think of grabbing. It was the handle of the boiling oatmeal. It got all over both of my legs. It had third-degree burns, and from that, I wound up having a blockage between the kidney and the bladder, which after 72 hours in the hospital, they discovered I only had one kidney. I had born with only one. Yeah, my brother Bill, he's the only sibling that's older than I am. Him and I are 355 days difference in age. He was born on February the 14th, 1949. I was born February the 4th of 1950. My sister Jenny, she now lives in Florida. She comes up every couple of years. My brother Bob, whom we lost on March 8th of this year. The job he loved the most was long-haul trucker. And then my brother Rick was also in the military. Oh, Bob was in the military also. He made it to Spec 4. My brother Rick was in the military. I'm not sure what grade he got to, but he got into an argument with a guy, and that guy decided to take a 2x4 with a bunch of nails sticking out of it and hit my brother in the head, and he is now a disabled veteran. My brother Cliff, the ones I'll talk about now are actually from the second family. They're the Kites. They came from my mother, but a different father, which the father I'm talking about for them is the one that we call Dad. And Cliff is the oldest of them. He was for a while. He was a paramedic. My sister Julie, I'm not even sure. I know she lost her husband 2015 to suicide. And then my brother Kevin, I really don't even know where he is. And then my sister Karen, She lives somewhere around Southport, and I think, well, I know she's diabetic, and I don't know if she works or not. Julie is works at the Dairy Corral in Macedonia. I really didn't have any set example of what I wanted to be when I grew up. I just thought it was going to be whatever I was going to be. Well, I wouldn't have burned myself. Oh, that's night and day. When we grew up, what I really played with is a lot of times you just find out in the woods, pick up a stick to pretend it was a rifle, or the toys back then were crude to what they have nowadays. I didn't do too bad in school until I hit high school. I quit school, I believe, was in the 11th grade. Yeah, the first job I ever had was janitorial work at Meadowbrook. The floor person, I would strip and wax the floors and buff them. And that kind of work I did enjoy. Well, the biggest thing from adulthood would have been getting married, and the birth of both my children and my grandchildren. I guess that would have been the biggest. Well, I did try truck driving for about 6 months, and I did not care for that at all. Staying out 2 weeks and being home for 2 days, it was just too lonely on the road. Probably the sun shining, get in the car and just drive around and see sights. With the wife, of course, but that'd be what I would consider a perfect day. Hamburgers, shrimp, well, seafood in general. Navy blue. Yeah, the Righteous Brothers, Simon Garfunkel, Meatloaf. I love his "Do on Three Ain't Bad" and "Bad Out of Hell." I like Elvis Presley. And pretty much any of the groups in the 60s. Oh, the Hallmark Christmas movies. They are some of my favorite movies. They're all, well, the Christmas movies. They're all about Christmas and falling in love and all that good kind of stuff. They are just so entertaining and enjoyable to watch. They don't have any of the shoot 'em up, kill everybody. They're just such sweet movies. Oh, Final Fantasy. I'd love the Final Fantasy games. I think the last one that I've actually played was, okay. Yeah, I think it was 12. She was kind of like a magician. You change your clothes to change her abilities. Like dance would be one ability, and then you change to something else. Probably around 3 or 4. The graphics, the music, and the graphics, they've been getting better. The graphics have always been outstanding on the Final Fantasy games. Zelda, I've actually only played, I believe, 2 of them. They're also enjoyable. The graphics are great. I can't even remember now. It's been so long what the music was like. The Ocarina of Time. I think that is the last one of them I played. I signed up for the voluntary draft when the war in Vietnam was going on and made it as far as Detroit, where they noticed that I had a scar from when I burned my legs. And they found out I had a blockage between the kidney and the bladder, and that got me sent home and classified 4F, which is unfit for military duty, period. And that kind of ticked me off. Yeah, my dad George had, he was in North Korea, and he got blown into a foxhole by hand grenade, and when he died, he still had shrapnel in his back that they could not remove because it was too close to his spine, and they were afraid it would cut his spine. Oh, yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, if you wanted to use the phone, you had to go in and get it off the wall and call somebody. Anymore, all you gotta do is grab your phone out of your pocket. When I was growing up, the kids used to talk, not just me, but kids I went to school, automatic driving cars. But not one of us was thinking at the time that was a real possibility. Now they're making cars that don't even have a steering wheel. Technology is anymore. It's just nuts. Is a kind, generous person. It's not like I have a lot of money to give out, but if I can do something for anybody, I'd be more than willing to do that. Biggest thing I can say is never give up. If things get a little bit rough, don't just say no. I'm done. I quit. No, you have to work through everything